And what we're going to do as we go live. This is an unusual start to the show, but before we go live, we want to do a tribute for our co-host who lost his pet. I'm going to play something that he prepared for us to show. This is a tribute to Clint and his beloved pet, Solo. So, a bit of a different start to the show. Hello and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. What is the Clint Initiative? The Clint Initiative is a multi-phase project to create entertainment here in Minnesota and to distribute that entertainment to the world, starting with this podcast. This podcast is the seed from which everything else will grow. The Clint Initiative is about great music. The Clint Initiative is about great live entertainment. The Clint Initiative is about a sketch show. The Clint Initiative is all about filmed content. If you want to know how to do a podcast, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to do an album, how to find musicians, how to get it recorded, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to create more content over a short period of time, you're listening to the Clint Initiative and we will help you get there. If you are ready to create, if you're ready to talk about creating, if you're ready to be about it and get it done, we want to talk to you. This is the Clint Initiative. My name is Paul and my co-hosts are Katie, Clint, and Jamel. We are the Clint Initiative. If you are interested in creating content, if you're interested in creating movies, music, television, films, short films, and feature films, then we want to talk to you. We want to have you on the show. Email us at theclintpodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And now, back to the show.
We're always looking to give you a little more. We're always looking to give you a little more. We're always looking to give you a little more. We are. What are we doing? We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. To see what sticks. Lo estamos tirando la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Para ver que se pega, no it cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing, subscribe. Don't cost you nothing to hit the like. Don't cost you nothing. Go ahead, subscribe. Don't cost you nothing to hit the like. Don't cost you nothing. So hit that like and subscribe. So hit that like and subscribe. So hit that like and subscribe. What are we doing? We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall, we are. Throwing it at the wall. To see what sticks. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. To see what sticks. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. La like que se pega no me cost you nothing to hit that like. Don't cost you nothing. Subscribe. Don't cost you nothing to that like and subscribe. So hit that like and subscribe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast, and welcome to the second part of our Bible Bracket Special. Before we continue with our Bible Bracket Special, you probably already noticed that we updated our theme song to the show, and that's just more many surprises to come. But one thing that stays the same is I'm going to go ahead and check in with our co-host to see how this Thursday, is treating them. Katie, how is your day going?
It's going great. I'm excited to be here. I love the new theme song. Absolutely love it. So I hope you guys did too. And I'm excited to start this Bible bracket.
Okay. And now, the man, the myth, the legend, we go to Jamel. Jamel, let's check in with you today. How's your day going this Thursday?
Blessed Thursday. Thank you, everyone out here that's watching, to take the time out to help support us. Unfortunately, we are sad that Clint is not able to join us today due to Solo passing away last night. So our condolences to Clint, and goes out to, just making sure that he's doing okay emotionally, and, he finds the strength to make it through his day and to get things taken care of on his end. Other than that, yes, I'm excited. I love how the show starts out now. It looks great. It sounds great. I was laughing at a part of that AI animation, which is supposed to be me in there with sunglasses on. So I thought that was kind of funny, but it's cool at the same time. So let's get this Bible bracket started.
Okay, well, yes, I'm ready to get the Bible bracket started. This is part 2, and with the number of titles we have, we'll probably have a number 3, along with a music special, because we now have the EP for our show is finished and almost ready to be released. So I'm looking forward to integrating the music special along with the Bible bracket special next week. But what I want to announce is our Founders in Inner Circle has a new member. I want to welcome Constance Jones to our Founders in Inner Circle. We have Devin Lowe, we have Joe Fredericks, and now we have Constance Jones, who is a member of our Inner Circle. She's a dear friend of mine from the Washington metropolitan area, and she was able to contribute to the show. And as we say all the time with the show, we are nothing without you and your support. And she came to the table and offered that support, and I really appreciate it. She was able to give what she could, and that's all we ever ask, is that people give what they can, when possible. But now, on with our Bible bracket special. Okay. Did you guys see the story a few weeks ago about a woman's boyfriend who was not supposed to own a gun, who got a gun, and when the cops were called, he killed some people and actually fired at the cops? Did you guys hear that story? Well, that's what straw is about. The woman is being charged with a straw gun purchase. But with straw, we focus on our main character, who is Caesar, which I believe will be played by none other than Jamel himself.
Caesar.
Caesar is the guy. Caesar is in the business, and his business is selling guns. His business is procuring them, selling them. He doesn't care how they're used. So he's found that the best way to get guns is to have people, when they turn the age where they can go and purchase a gun, I think in a lot of states it's 18. He will pay them to go to several different gun shops and buy guns until the government catches on to him. Straw is all about how he does that, the repercussions it has on people, and our main character in the show has something for Caesar that he is not expecting. There are a lot of twists and turns in the show, but we start off with a young person at a party living his life, being happy, planning for the future, college, mourning the loss of friends, and then Caesar enters their life, and we follow what comes after that. So that's what Straw is all about. Straw is all about straw gun purchases, and Straw follows the recent tradition of films of following the anti-hero or following the person who would be considered the villain to the natural conclusion, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the better. So for someone to come into an open call, what would you tell them about the film Straw, Jamel? What would you be looking for in someone who would be interested in being in Straw?
One characteristics of what what roles we need to have filled. Two, I would, get information from them to find out how committed they can be to, seeing this all the way through and making it happen.
Okay, because it is going to take a commitment with everything that we do, but what would you offer to folks about Straw, Katie?
I just had a question because I know that I seen the ending part, but so you're saying that Caesar is the person that impacts somebody else's life, and that's what the series is based off. I mean, Caesar is obviously the main character, I'm assuming, but is he's the one that's impacting somebody else? He's the one that's coming to this party, and
Caesar is the person who impacts the lives of the teenagers in this film. He is the one who gets them to do straw gun purchases. But lately it's all been going just a little wrong, which always happens with straw gun purchases. It always goes a little wrong, and when it does, people get hurt because weapons are involved. So as far as the open call, we're looking for people to bring that youthful energy to the role. And the team that will be playing opposite Caesar, played by Jamel, is Trevor. Trevor is the kid that Caesar is getting to do a purchase for him. And he's a teen who turns the tables somewhat. So that's the one thing with Straw that we'll be looking for, is for them to be able to play off each other and bring that energy. Because strong characters make strong films, and that's what we're looking for with Straw, because it's a serious subject, but we really want to bring that youthful energy to it and strong performances. And with that being said, let's go to our next film, Let Me Miss You. Of course, is Let Me Miss You. And Let Me Miss You, our hero has a girlfriend, and she calls all the time and is always on his back. He doesn't give her a chance to miss him. So when she stops calling and everything, he celebrates because she's not calling all the time. You know that thing they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder? Once she starts calling back, he realizes, wow, I think she's the one. But she doesn't think so. So now he has to spend that time getting her to realize that she's the one for him as well. And that is let me miss you. She let him miss her, and then he found he couldn't live without her. And what I like about Let Me Miss You is that it's just a lighthearted romp through the ups and downs of relationships and how, wow, you don't always have to be there to ultimately be there. So, what do you guys think? Who has something to add? If someone's coming to an open talk call, what would you tell them about Let Me Miss You?
I think what you said pretty much kind of sums it up.
Yep. I was hoping, but you never know. So I just wanted to make sure. And that brings us to our next production, which is I'm That Guy. The first one is I'm that guy. I'm that guy that things have a tendency to just sneak up on me. I'm minding my business, and then all of a sudden things just happen because, hey, I'm that guy. Okay. So, to add to that, the film starts off with him walking down the street like anybody else would. But he's that guy that when something goes wrong and something happens, we actually see how he's the one that it impacts more than the people who were involved in it. And all through the film, we go through these different instances until we come to the primary flow of the film that takes us all the way to the end. He's that guy. So
is he the guy for bad luck or good luck, or is he the guy of the center of the tension?
If there are good things happening, he's in the center. And if there's bad things happening, he's even more in the center. So and it's like the person who gets into an accident, and I don't want to bring anybody down, but it's like the person who gets drunk, they're in an accident, everyone else gets injured, and they walk away. He's that guy.
Well, we've heard stories of that happening, so yeah.
Well,
Okay,
maybe
so
not favored.
say again.
Maybe he's not as favored everywhere. So,
Well, hey. So the next film that we're going to talk about is Misery and Company. And the first one is Misery and Company. Yes, misery loves company. And misery is our business. And business is booming. So, to add to that, whenever there are problems that are happening, the good, the bad, the ugly, there has to be a come to Jesus moment, if you will, or there has to be someone who speaks up to sort of help in the misery. Sometimes misery loves company, though. So the film is all about how in certain people's moment of misery, we have the people of misery and company come in to either prolong it or to help it end. So we get to see a lot of different life situations that in some cases is misery that we cause ourselves. So misery and company is all about those moments that happen in life and how sometimes your company is good, other times the company's not so good. So anyone coming to an open call, just bring your misery, because misery loves company. So you guys have any questions about Misery and Company before we go to the next film?
No, I think we pray for the people who are miserable. Like,
Well, now,
See, praying will only do so much, because if they're doing self-infliction, I don't know how to really get them out of that. It's, you can do the best you can, but it's still that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink.
and in Misery and Company, Not only will we see them drink, we'll see a few of the times where they don't. And now we're going to turn it a little dark here with Ninja the Vampire. Ninja Vampire. Ninja Vampire comes from this photograph I saw of Jamel all dressed up as a ninja.
And that's why I'm laughing, because that's exactly where.
And I thought to myself, okay, you start off as a ninja and you become a vampire. So I thought it would be interesting to follow a ninja, his encounter with a vampire, and what transpires that he then becomes a ninja vampire. How he could still walk that walk as a ninja and yet be the undead, a night walker.
Daywalker.
Or would he be a daywalker? We will see with Ninja Vampire. The Ninja Vampire has become even more solidified in my mind. Ninja Vampire follows the same path as like John Wick or other revenge movies where he's betrayed by his ninja clan, his family destroyed by his ninja clan. He's sent to be sacrificed to a vampire. And now he wants revenge. And that's Ninja Vampire. So for anyone coming to our open call for Ninja Vampire, you want to bring your A game physically because it's going to be a very physically demanding film. And that's one of the things I love about what we do as filmmakers is that the more people we involve in our projects, the easier it makes for us to do as many projects as we can, because it's just about having the personnel and the people involved. That's where the primary amount of the budget will go, is to bring the people on board and to be able to make each project. Ninja Vampire is one of those projects that will be a little more costly because of the special effects. But the best special effect we can bring is the physicality of the actors who portray the ninjas, the vampires, and any unfortunate bystanders.
What time?
There's going to be a lot of action involved, so they got to be conditioned.
Absolutely. I mean, I have yet to see a fat ninja. I just have never seen. I've never seen an overweight ninja.
Well, it wasn't in reality. But if you look at Kung Fu Panda,
yeah, but that's a comedy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a comedy. It's not a vampire.
What time frame are we doing this?
It shows the movement of a bigger bodied panda that can move around and still do stuff. So you just never know nowadays. I have seen some videos where there's some guys that are like 300-400 plus pounds and they're performing martial arts and doing high kicks and stuff. So you never know.
Okay, so now I'm afraid. I'm very afraid of a fat ninja. Thanks a lot. But to talk to you about time frame, this is a film that we will be doing a series of Ninja Vampire films. And the reason, so this film will start in ancient times. So this film starts at ancient times, and that gives us the opening to be able to update it whenever we want and to take the story wherever we want. So that is Ninja Vampire. And as you saw, with our new opening, music is so essential to what we do as a company. That leads into our next film, Social Skills, the musical. Social Skills, the musical. Our society has changed, but not everyone is changing. Sometimes coming to terms with the social skills needed to survive in our society is a journey. So we will go on that journey in Social Skills, the musical. Making friends, we have a musical number. Losing friends, we have a musical number. That first time you fall in love, we have a musical number. That moment you know that love is over, we have a musical number. That moment you learn things about life you supposedly did not want to know has a musical number. Social skills, it's all about those social skills that takes us through life and about bringing a little bit of laughter along with a little bit of seriousness to our audience. So what do you guys think of social skills, and what do you think anyone coming to an open call would ask about social skills?
Guess you have to have the voice. I don't know. Are you going to be in this, Paul? I feel like
You know, I love singing and I love performing, but the only thing I love more than that is producing. And of course, if I have an opportunity to be in it and it works, yes, I will, because I love singing, of course. But I also know how to hand off the reins as well. So, do you sing, Jamel? Is that one of your social skills?
Maybe.
So we're gonna leave that mystery out there for social skills, the musical.
Exactly.
What was that, Jamel?
I said exactly.
And we're gonna go on to all too well. All too well. We know all too well the things that happen when you least expect it. We know all too well the people in our lives to avoid. We know all too well the people in our lives to welcome in. We know all too well the people that will lie to your face. We know all too well the backstabbers. And in the film All Too Well, we delve into those stories of the backstabbers and the liars and the cheats, the lovers. And you know you got to include those freaks. Wow, it's funny that I would say that with all that's been happening this week, but they smile in your face. Always they want to take your place. The backstabbers, and we know that all too well. So in all too well, what was that, Jamel?
I was just going off of what you said. We know that all too well.
All too well, we know about the things that can happen in life, and it's a simple story, and all too well, but it's a universal story, and I think that it will connect with people. And as with all of our productions, it's going to depend on who we cast for the roles. Did you have anything to add to that before we go to our next film, Katie?
no. I guess whoever would fill the spot would just have to know to play that fake role pretty well. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Dangerous.
Wait until you actually see what I have planned for that. It is definitely something I can touch, which is our next film. Something I can touch. Sometimes you just need something you can touch.
Clint.
When nothing seems right.
What? Keep my name out of your mouth.
I seen the sunshine.
Keep my name out of your mouth.
I seen the sun shining over there.
Keep my name out of your mouth.
When nothing seems right or real in the world.
That smile went from ear to ear about that one, Clint.
When nothing seems right in the world. When everything seems topsy-turvy. And the whole world seems like it's all going to end. Sometimes we just need something we can touch so that we can feel the earth and so that we can ground ourselves and be able to go on. That's what something I can touch is all about. Something I can touch when everything in the world seems topsy-turvy, when nothing seems right or real, In fact, when everything seems wrong, sometimes to ground yourself, you just need something you can touch. And that is what something I can touch is all about. It's about being able to ground yourself and have something real. And sometimes just by touching it, you know that this is something that's real. And that's what the film, I mean, I think you know that in our world today, everything just seems out of control. Everything just seems to want to go its own way. And things that we used to be able to hold on to, it's just slipped through our grasp. So something I can hold is all about a lot of the things that slip through our grasp, being able to bring just some of that back. Not all of it, because some of it we wanted to lose.
Mhm.
But some of it we definitely wanted to hold on to. And something I can touch is all about bringing a little bit of that back, that stability that's missing in our everyday life these days. Any thoughts, team?
I think that would be like a good connection film. I think a lot of people would be able to relate to it, especially like losing yourself and all the chaotic stuff that's happening. Things that you think can be unrealistic actually happen, and you're just like, what the hell? So it would be a good like finding yourself kind of thing.
Yeah. And what do you think, Jamel?
I'm going with what we got right now.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that, just to add on to what Katie is before we go to what child is this, I'm just going to say, to finish it up, is that especially with social media today, people get caught up in a lot of things that has no impact on their life. And they get so involved with it to the point where it starts to interfere with their life. And sometimes they just have to step back, touch a little grass, and find something real to hold. And I'll leave everyone with that before we go to what child is this who lay me down upon? What child is this?
And we know we're not talking about Jesus Christ.
We're not talking about Jesus, but we are talking about.
That's sounding like something creepy.
But we are talking about. Well, it is a little creepy, because with what child is this? When people go to the hospital to have a child, you never know whether they gave you your child or not.
Oh no.
This is a story of a family who goes home with a child that is not theirs, and what they go through, and their reaction when they find out that the child that they have is not theirs. That is a heavy situation.
I already make my pick already.
That is a heavy, heavy situation for anyone. And that is, what child is this? Family goes home with the wrong child, and then when they finally discover that it isn't their child, we follow their path to a final conclusion to that. It's not as simple as people would think when something like that happens. It doesn't happen, it happens rarely these days, but when it does happen,
it has happened.
Say again?
I said, but it has happened.
And there's no shortage of trauma because of the few times it has happened. So, any final thoughts on what child is this, or are you scared enough and you want to go to the next film?
It'd be cool to see what kind of kid it is, though. Like, did they take somebody's demonic baby, or did they take, you know what I'm saying? would be interesting.
So many possibilities with what child is that, and
I was just gonna say there could be so many plot twists to that. So
absolutely, M. Night Shyamalan got nothing on me.
Yeah, because it can also lead to how many years go by before they realize that this isn't their child.
Ding, 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 ding. And then when you get hospitals involved, reputations involved, loss of income involved, along with our already fractured medical community here in America, yeah, there's lots of reasons for things to happen. And there's lots of reasons why things that did happen shouldn't have happened. And when you involve a child, you involve a lot of emotion as well. But do you know the only thing more emotional than something to do with your child? A national emergency, shelter in place. You know, the unknown can be very scary. And sometimes when events happen, you get a shelter in place warning. So wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, you have to shelter in place. And when you do that and you shelter in place, you discover who you're sheltering in place with. But the unknown is the scariest thing because you don't know what you're sheltering in place for until you know. And that's what shelter in place is all about. It's about the experience of a group of people forced to shelter in place. And then they discover things about themselves and things about the people that they're sheltering in place with. And that's what shelter in place is all about. With our society today and the way things are happening, you never know when you might have to shelter in place. So, Melanie is minding her own business when there's an emergency. And in shelter in place, she winds up sheltering in place with the kind of people that she spent her whole life avoiding. Her parents told her, avoid these people. Her friends told her, avoid those people. But in shelter in place, she is with those people in an emergency situation. And she gets to discover things about those people that, although her parents did not want her to know, and her friends did not want her to know, now it's crucial to her survival to know with shelter in place. Thoughts, team?
I think it would be interesting to see what group of people we can come up with to put on to one place. And it would go with like not judging a book by its cover type deal. So I think it would be interesting.
And unfortunately, sometimes when you judge that book by the cover, it seems like you read a few pages when you actually do open up that book. What do you think, Jamel?
Shelter in place is going to be another good one, just for the simple fact of you can run wild with how long you're going to be in this shelter with these individuals and what actually happens in these shelters with these individuals, especially if food source starts to run out and, you know, people have hormones and sometimes, yeah, you see where I'm going with this, where you can run wild with it, right?
People need specialized medications. And then, of course,
and certain people may have needs, and if there's no one else around to help them with the needs, they're going to act out to who's in their vicinity. So,
absolutely. And then, of course, who tells you when a shelter in place is over?
Right.
How long have people in shelter in place situations been there? A lot longer than the situation that went on. So shelter in place, we're going to cover quite a few things.
And who would be the first person to actually leave to shelter? To find out if it's okay.
Sometimes the first person to stick their head out, it doesn't go very well. Just a thought. Sometimes that doesn't go very well at all. And our next production is about when things don't go well the day after I left. The day after I left, everything went to hell, just like you planned it. But I found out it was all you. And now you're going to pay, because payback is a beep. Okay. So that is the day after I left. And that is the whole point of it. When you orchestrate things to ruin someone else's life, sometimes all you're doing is just ruining your own life. And that's what the day after I left is all about. It's another revenge story. Revenge stories are a dime a dozen, but revenge stories are all too needed in this world when a lot of people, they spend a lot of time planning for another's downfall only to be planning their own. And that's what the day after I left is all about. Thoughts, team?
Looking forward to the karma.
Lady Karma, better than Lady Marmalade in some cases. Any thoughts before I go on to our next film? We're getting down to the nitty gritty, and we're getting down to the really fun parts. And don't we all just want to have a little more fun? And this week, you know, guys, life is short, you know? So I decided I wanted to have just a little more fun. And a little more fun is basically a music video movie. And it starts off with like classic songs like Good Times. These are the good times. Leave your cares behind. And just have a little more fun with a little more fun coming to you soon from the Clint Initiative. Okay, so especially now with our music in full effect, it's going to be so easy to do a little more fun. It's going to be so easy to really bring the music to life. And it's something that I'm going to be working on a week at a time until it's done. So a little more fun is going to be a solid musical from beginning to end. And it's going to be fun, uplifting. And it's going to make you leave singing, clapping, and just feeling good. And don't we all want to feel good these days? So for an open call, we're definitely going to need people who can bring the music and bring that personality. What do you think, team?
Am I able to dance in the background? Can I get a dancing role?
If we don't have you dancing, Katie, it's not going to be a film. It won't be complete without having dancing. Come on.
They just gotta bring that positive energy and feel it through their soul.
And you know the funny thing about when you want to have just a little more fun, some people just stand to the sidelines and the haters just gotta hate. And that's our next film. Some will hate you. Some will hate you. Always. It's unavoidable. But never let the haters stop you, because some will always hate you. Okay. So, Some Will Hate You is all about the haters. And there's always people who are in the background and you don't find out about them until it's a little too late. And what we do with Some Will Hate You is we follow one of those people as they come up with that germ of an idea built on hate, and we follow them, just like Coyote gets followed in the Bugs Bunny cartoons a lot. Some of the stuff is funny because when you practice evil, it's always going to be turned back on you. So everything they build through hate, most of it doesn't work. Some of it is comedic, some of it is serious, and in the end, some will hate you takes a turn that no one ever expected, not even myself as the person who came up with the idea. So we've only got a few more to go through. We may actually get finished with our Bible bracket special this week. So someone coming to an open call, what would you want to tell them to bring to some will hate you?
Relatable experience.
There you go. That moment they ran into their own haters. Everybody has their own haters. Do you have any haters out there, Katie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. It's good. It's good for the power juice. Just
I'm
makes it
sure
better.
that
Motivation.
What?
Motivation.
Yes.
Keep going.
haters as motivation. I like it. So
But
that
see,
is
here's another catch to that. You could have haters that can be, what's a good word to use? Passive aggressive.
yeah. Most of
Because
the time they are.
they could be pretending, but actually it's in their mind are like, well, like good job, good for you, those type of people is what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry,
Good
Cass.
for you, like their life is shit, and now they're feeling jealous because you was like they see something positive from you, but they don't know how to react to that. When if they only applied the same type of energy, that could happen for them too.
And it's all about
also, some will hate you can be the passive aggressiveness of people too.
it's all about that Minnesota nice and keeping those.
See, I didn't say that, but
It's like keeping those that you hate closer and keeping those that you love even closer. and now our last in the film mode is seen no evil. Seen no evil. You can't see it. But that doesn't mean that ancient evil is not there. On my own part, I've never seen no evil, but I still know it exists. I know it persists. And sometimes you got to pull it out of the darkness, especially if you never want to see that evil again. Evil needs darkness to grow. And still, I've seen no evil because it's hiding. And we're going to get it in seeing no evil. Seeing no evil is going to be a study in how ancient evil still exists in our world today and still rules in our world today. And it's like those moments when you see something, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Unfortunately, once you see, you have to do something about it. But what do you do about ancient evil? Seeing no evil will cover those tracks. Thoughts?
Is it like are we saying a person is evil, like an evil thing in general, or are we saying like supernatural evil?
Well, it's like evil exists in the world today,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very visible to the naked eye if you are willing to see it. Every day it happens. It happens in movies, it happens on TV shows, it happens on the news even, when events that happen in our life.
Yeah, I was gonna say it happens that grocery stores, shopping centers, parking lots, schools,
And then
churches.
once you're able to connect the dots, once you're able to see that evil, those who have seen no evil are forever changed. But once you have seen that evil, you must act or else. And that is seeing no evil. That's the last in our films, but we also have Dateline. Dateline is going to be a staged reading of a play about the 976 date years. And we are going to have another staged reading with different actors. We're going to have them watch the previous staged reading. Then we're going to have another reading. Eventually, we will get to do poolside conversations.
And those models are still, they're excited and still waiting to, when the time is right, it'll happen.
Right. So poolside conversations is coming. This past Tuesday, I did an Occupy Local podcast that was all about the Occupy movement that started in 2011 with Occupy Wall Street. And I have another broadcast coming up this coming Tuesday, but that is so far it's probably not a podcast that's going to continue because I did it for a friend in Harrisburg and there's a lot involved with that, but it is something that we did. And if anyone else out there would like to do any type of show or any type of podcast, just let us know and we'll try it, just like we tried Occupy Local. Now let's talk about the next time on the Clint Initiative podcast. Now that our Bible bracket special is over, our next special will be a musical special. And to sort of kick off the musical special with a bang, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song from our upcoming EP, and then I'm going to get the final words from our co-host. And here is, I'm looking for it right now because I think that you heard our opening for the show, Throwing It at the Wall. That is our show cut. And this is just another version of Throwing It at the Wall. And you guys can react to it as you listen to it.
It's working to give you a little more. We always working.
Yeah, that's what we're
to give
doing.
you a little more. We always working to give you a little more. We always working to give you a little more.
What are we doing?
We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at
What
the
was
wall.
that?
See what sticks.
Said, oh shit.
Huh?
I said, oh shit.
Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared. Lo estamos tirando a la pared. Estamos tirando contra la pared para ver qué se pega. Para ver qué se pega. tirarlo contra la pared, pared, Lo estamos tirando a la pared, estamos tirando contra la pared para ver qué se pega. Estamos tirando a la pared, estamos tirando contra la pared, pared para ver qué se pega. We are always working to give you a little more. We are always working to give you a little more. We are always working to give you a little more. We are always working to give you a little more. We are.
Okay, and now we come to the final words. And also with your final words, if you wanted to give your feedback on that preview of one of the songs from our upcoming EP, I'm going to go to you first, Katie, since I'm following that mantra of ladies first. What are your final words and your thought on that musical number?
I do like that one. I like the twist that, you know, it goes more upbeat. So, I mean, between the one that we played today and this one, the first one that we did in the intro is my favorite one still, just because it has, like, you know, the little kick to it when it starts speaking in Spanish. So, so it's nice. I like it. But as far as final words, I just want to say thank you for being with us today. And I love today's episode or special on Bible Bracket. It was awesome. I think we had a good flow today. So it was really interesting, all the different films that are being pitched and all the ideas, like, always on point, always on point. And para que están viendo, gracias por estar con nosotros hoy día. Ojalá que siguen apoyando a nosotros and keep sharing and show love. And we will show love back always.
Okay, and Jamel, you get to have your final words and your feedback on that song. What are your thoughts, Jamel?
My thoughts is I agree with Katie. I still like the very first one that we played as our intro. And just for our audience, thank you for always sticking with us, and thank you for always watching. And you know you can always go back to and watch our edited clips if you miss anything. So, you know, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And subscribe.
Just subscribe to what we do. And if you wanted to contact us about even, being on the show, just drop us an email at theclintpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get you right on the show up beside us. And I just want to again thank our newest founder who has joined our inner circle, and that is Constance Jones. She joins the ranks of Devin Lowe and Joe Fredericks. And
thank you, Constance.
And the more support we get, the better we become. But next week, I'm looking forward to debuting all the music from our upcoming EP, which, just as we're available anywhere you can get podcasts, once we reveal the music from our EP, it will be available wherever you get your music. So if there's a song we play that you really like, that catches your ear, guess what? You're going to be able to go out and buy that song and support the show and help us make the movies from our Bible bracket come to life. Those are my final words, and the show is over. And what I'm going to do, just to really give it a little more zing, is I'm going to start playing the theme song that these guys seem to really like. And there we go. I'm going to play the ones they really like as the show goes away. Yeah. This is the one they like.
What are we doing? We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall.
That's our new theme song.
We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. Estamos tirando la pared, estamos tirando contra la pared.
You can have a dance party to this one.
Absolutely, and that's what our video is going to be. All of these songs, we're going to be having a video.
We're going to have Katie dancing in the background.
Background, come on, man. That's going to be the whole video. Background, man. Come back next week to hear more about music.